people, considering what this means for the rivalry, what it could mean for your season and some of the tournament resume. Just how significant was this one tonight?
Well, I'm just proud of the guys for how they responded after a really tough loss up in Sioux Falls. That's the biggest thing that we were looking for, was to respond in a big way and prepare and put that one behind us. We had a tough film session. There were a lot of things we could have done in that game, we felt, to win that game over St. Mary's, which would have been a huge win for us. We all good back there? I'm just really proud of how they responded. And, when we needed to get it going, we put in a new little action for Connor, and Connor responded in a big way. Juwan, couldn't be more proud of him for, winning in a tough place, both opportunities that he had to come here. This is really hard to do. And, I thought Juwan did a great job out there making a lot of hustle plays on both ends of the floor. I give Braxton Mia a lot of credit. I thought he got us off to a great start with his physicality. Kalkbrenner obviously is playing as well as anybody in the country right now, and it's not a one-person job, but we really challenged him to go out there and try to at least make life a little bit difficult, knowing that he was still going to get put up some numbers. But I thought we closed out with great urgency. I thought our rotations were crisp, unlike a year ago where they sprayed it all over the place. They killed us. This was a really good team effort. And the biggest thing we talked about going into this game was dictating the pace and the tempo. And I thought we did a solid job of not pushing unless we had an advantage and getting into a set. And I thought we executed well.
Fred, how validating is it to win a game in this way, this kind of gritty way, when you don't make a lot of shots, but winning a game with your defense and intensity?
Well, we knew this was the only way we were going to do it. We weren't going to come here and out finesse them. We weren't going to come out here and be more pretty than Creighton. They're so good. Mac does as good a job as anybody in the country. I think he's one of the best offensive coaches in the nation, if not the best. And he just puts those guys in a lot of great positions to get shots, and they're very random with it. So this is a conceptual game plan. We put in a lot of the things we thought they might run that they had success with, especially last year, and then we went out and I thought we executed it. But, yeah, you're not going to out-finesse a Creighton team. They're just too good, especially in this building.
Fred, you mentioned it in your opening answer, but you held Kalkbrenner to just 4 points and really 1 field goal. How tough is that to do against a guy who's caliber?
Yeah, he's we have great context because Zach Edey being in our league the last 4 or 5 years, and the challenges that he puts you in a bind. Connor knows from being in the league, and I just give Braxton Mia all the credit in the world for getting us off to a great start. And he got tired after about 3 minutes, and then Andrew Morgan, it was his turn to go in there and battle. And I thought Burke did a really nice job of fronting, and our backside was there in the paint to try to help out. And that puts a lot of stress and pressure on your rover on that backside to take the first pass. But again, I thought our rotations were on point. It takes great communication. I thought this was our best communication game, and guys were locked in. Even we knew they'd go on a run. They did. It's tough in this building when it gets loud like it did, but I give our guys a lot of credit for the poise that they played with for 40 minutes.
Juwan, there's been very few Huskers that have won in Omaha twice in their career. I guess what was the mentality as one of the few players that had actually done it coming back that you were preaching to these guys about what it was going to take to replicate what you did 2 years ago?
Like Coach, I've been preaching all week. These games are always fun. Playing a rival team for sure, but coming to Omaha for sure, and Creighton gym, it's always going to be an environment of just loud crowd for sure. So I told the new guys, man, just go out there and enjoy it. Like Coach always said, we got nothing to lose. We're going on the road and play this game to have fun, man. That's what we did. We executed defense very good tonight. We missed some shots here and there, but in the day we executed the defensive end for sure. And I would definitely take a punt on, Connor, the new guys, buying in for sure like that. We found gays in, and I could just see the progress we always making throughout this week for sure.
Juwan, it looked like you were showing a lot of emotion there. Just how much do you embrace the rivalry, and just how much do you get yourself up for a game like this?
This is my last time being in Creighton. Senior year for sure. This is something I'm always going to, see 5 years later on. Like, man, I'm so glad I beat them guys twice in their home for sure. So, I'm always going to have the emotional passion. And the guys feed off me when they see me emotion, passionate about the game. Like, you get to see everybody else's feed into it. So, just who I am for sure.
Fred, what can you say about your team being able to slow down Creighton's speed and limiting points in transition?
Well, let me just say this about Juwan really stepped up, and I thought emerged as the leader of the team this week. He was so good with his voice every day. We had a couple days of practice. I didn't love the energy, but Juwan pulled the guys through, and he's the guy. When he's loud, when he's out there showing emotion, the guys feed off of that. So I'm really proud of this guy. We needed somebody to do that, and Bryce did a great job of huddling the team together about 10 days ago, and Juwan in a tough moment I thought stepped up in a huge way with his leadership. So just huge props to Juwan for the way that he brought the team through, and I thought got the focus where it needed to be. I totally forgot your question. Oh, the speed. Yeah. So the speed of the it's who they are, and they're playing faster this year even than they did last year, and they were really fast a year ago. And we talked about not giving them easy baskets. That fuels them, that fuels this building. And the number one thing, as I talked about, was trying to control the pace and dictate tempo, and I thought we did that for 40 minutes.
Connor, Coach mentioned that they had drawn up some things to get you going a little bit. How much did you come into this with the mentality that you need to be more aggressive and assertive with the basketball?
It kind of just happened in the flow of the game, just kind of playing in, and trusting what Coach has in store. I feel like he's one of the best, if not the best, offensive coaches in the country, because that was part of the reason why I came here, was his mind and, him being there, done that, and being able to go off of his knowledge and, kind of seeing how the guys trusted it too. It wasn't just me doing that. It was the guys that were, able to screen, hit bodies. We talked about that a lot. I thought we did a better job of that tonight too. And, just being able to trust one another. And that was something else we talked about.
Fred, it was critical to the execution of just that kind of that both side discouraging of the over-the-top pass and then the closeout on when they did flip it opposite.
Yeah, I feel we've got one of the best defensive coaches in the country, Nate Lentz. He puts our game plans together, and the guy is. You see him over there on the sideline. I mean, the energy that he puts out there, it's nonstop. That's why I stand up all the time. It's all ear damage in my ear if I sit next to him the whole game. But he is yelling every possession, and I'm so appreciative. I've been with Nate now since my days at Iowa State. Brought him up to Chicago. He's been a head coach, but he's world class, putting a game plan together. And great at holding accountable. These guys, they understand if they're in the wrong spot, they're going to hear about it. So, just really pleased and proud of Nate for, putting, together another great game plan. And then, it's up to all of us then to make sure we're all on the same page and go out there and execute. But, I thought our guys did that beautifully tonight.
Juwan, you had an embrace with Nate after the game before you headed to the tunnel. What was said there, and then what did that moment mean for you?
That's my guy. Like Coach said, that's one of the passionate coach I would play for, on the defensive end. Like, he's gonna give everything he got. If he could suit up, he could, if he would, for sure. But that's just one person I know, just embrace it with him. 'Cause I know how much he, watch film, make a game plan on the defensive end for sure throughout every day. He say he up 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, working on the defense for sure. So, coming in the next day of practice, we gotta make sure we're gonna execute with that for sure. So, just something about, Coach Nate. That's just my guy right there. I love him to death.
Fred, you said you learned something from your team after every game. What do you learn from your team after one like this?
Yeah, it just I love the way they bounce back, and we faced some adversity in that last game, and we fought back in that one. I think we were down 10 with just over 3 to go, and had a shot there at the end to tie it, but we made some pretty critical mistakes in that game, and I thought we learned from it, and we carried that over, and that's what great teams do is you find a way to put it behind you after learning from it, and then carrying it on to the next one. So I just was really pleased with how the guys prepared and took the constructive criticism of a tough film session and then carried that over into the game plan this week.
How much does all of that tell you about how much you can push this group and sort of the boundaries with that, just because of that mental makeup and being able to bounce back?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't sure, and they responded in a big way this week. They showed me how capable they are of responding to tough coaching. And obviously we do everything we can to get them ready. But this was a tough week after a game that we really felt that we had a chance to win this past weekend, and the fire alarms didn't help in that start as well. But it's just a group of guys that I've said it since day one. They have been really enjoyable to coach. They've been fun to be around, and I'm happy for them that this one paid off. Now we got to get over it quick and find a way to get back and have a productive practice on Sunday.
Juwan, the type of defense you guys play tonight is not easy to execute. How were you able to kind of keep the energy level constantly? What fueled that? How did you think you guys kind of pushed through moments where even the crowd got involved and they seemed to maybe get a little bit of mojo?
We hungry. That's all I'm gonna say. We hungry for wins. We knew coming to this facility, we knew it was gonna be a hostile environment, but at the end of the day, it's still a game. We still knew this was gonna be a team that we could compete with for sure. So we never overlooked this team for sure. So the defense is just who we are, just who Nebraska basketball is. So there's nothing to it. We we hunger for more wins. So like Coach Fred said, we gonna enjoy this win tonight. You know, flushing down tomorrow and go to Sunday with new practice for sure. Get a game plan for next Wednesday.
Connor, when they run you off the 3-point line like you were, how comfortable are you getting inside the defense, getting downhill, and finishing from mid-range at the rim?
You know, it was something that, you know, I worked on, you know, a lot this summer, especially, you know, kind of when I was back home, being able to do that and just kind of, you know, not necessarily just be a one-dimensional scorer player. And so being able to, you know, just be able to have that second option, you know, was good. And there were times, too, I thought today I could have made an extra pass, too. So, you know, going back and looking at that film and, you know, being able to see that and grow from that and, you know, even added more to my game, too.
Only 7 turnovers tonight. I mean, as good as the defense was, has a big part in what you guys did tonight, too, just how important that was, and Raleigh only having one of those.
Yeah, it's growth for sure. We turned it over way too much the other night, or in the afternoon, and we're in Sioux Falls. So you have to take care of the ball. You have to value possessions. Again, this team fuels off of turnovers and block shots. I thought for the most part we did a solid job being selective at the rim, and we watched how many clips this week, guys? 100 of Kalkbrenner blocking shots, and then them getting out in the break and finishing on the other end or getting an open three. So I thought, you know, taking care of the ball and taking the right shots, especially at the rim, because Kalkbrenner is as good as there is in the game of not only blocking a shot but keeping it in play, and that's what fuels them. So, you know, I thought our guys did a good job with that.
Last question. Did you show Raleigh any film from Sam Greasel 2 years ago in this building?
No, I showed Andrew Morgan clips of Derek Walker in this building from a couple years ago, and you're not going to finesse it over Kalkbrenner, but if you can get into his body, that would be the only way, you know, to get a shot up. But, you know, Raleigh, again, we trusted that, you know, the matchup. We obviously went at some different matchups out there today with Juwan and with Raleigh with Bryce, and you know, I thought those guys did a good job executing our you know, the one stretch I really didn't like was the first 4 or 5 minutes of the second half. I thought we just were bunched up and we weren't getting out with the same you know, pace getting to our spots. We just got really bunched up. Once we got our flow back, it was you know, it was good to extend it a little bit and then find a way to finish the game.
Yes.
Thank you.